So now we're going to start with variables, the letters. The letters are going to be on both sides. So here, number 59, you guys see where the equal sign is. And you guys see that I have letters on the left side of it. So we see the equal sign. There's the M, I see it on the left side and on the right side. So that's what I mean on both sides. Okay, first thing we have to do is get rid of parentheses. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So the -6, I have to multiply to the inside. So that's going to give me negative 18m plus 42, right? -6 times -7 is positive 42 equals negative 38 minus 2m. So get rid of parentheses. Next step, if you can combine like terms on the left side or the right side, combine them. Like I said, if you can. On the left side, the 18 and the 42 cannot combine them because one of them has a letter, the other one does not. On the right side, the -38 and -2 cannot combine them for the same reason. So nothing I can combine. Then what I'm going to do, I'm going to move letters to one side of the equal sign. So I can move the -18 to the right, or I can move the -2 to the left. It doesn't matter which one I move. Personally, I like to move the smallest m. When I have equal sign, I like to move the smallest m because that's going to help me avoid negatives if possible. So I'm going to move the -18m from the left to the right as a positive 18m. Notice how I put it next to the other m. I'm going to combine like terms. So I'm going to have to move the letters to one side, and then everything that doesn't have a letter to the other side. So this -38, let me move it over to this side as a +38. Don't forget to switch the signs. So there's my equal sign in the middle. On the left side, you guys see 42 plus 38. Right? 42 plus 38 is 80. They have the same sign, so just add it, 80. On the right side, -2m plus 18m. So -2 and the positive 18. When the signs are different, subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the large one. So I'm going to call this 16m. Right, subtract the numbers, keep the sign of the large one. Now to finish this, let me divide by the number in front of m. In this case, let me divide by 16. So there's my equal sign. On the right side, I'm just going to have m by itself. On the left side, 80 divided by 16 is 5. So m equals 5. So remember, first thing is get rid of parentheses. Combine like terms on each side if possible. Move letters to one side, numbers to the other. And lastly, divide by the number in front of the letter. So let's take a look at here. Have to get rid of parentheses. So this -4, I have to multiply it in. So that's going to give me 16 minus 6x equals -4x plus 4. Okay. On the left side, nothing I can combine. On the right side, nothing I can combine. So let's see, here's my equal sign. So let me move the letters to one side. Again, trying to avoid negatives, I'm going to move the smallest x. My -6, I'm going to move it to the other side as a +6. So I'm going to move letters to one side. So this +4, let me move it to the other side as a -4. Again, letters on one side, numbers on the other. So on the left side, so again, here's my equal sign. On the left side, I see 16 minus 4. Well, that's 12. On the right side, -4x plus 6x. I'm going to call that positive 2x. Signs were different, so I subtracted, keep the sign of the large one. To finish this, let me divide by the number in front of x. So in this case, 2. I know 12 divided by 2 is 6. 6 is equal to x. When I have an equal sign, I can have the variable on the left side or the right side. It doesn't matter. For inequalities, I don't get such choice. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, get rid of parentheses. So I'm going to have, let me do the work here, 18n plus 12 is less than negative 36 plus 2n. If I can combine anything on the left, by all means do so. Anything on the right, do so. In this case, I cannot combine them. Now, for inequalities, I don't have much of a choice. The letter has to go to the left side. So my 2n, let me move it over as a minus 2n. We're going to have to deal with negatives if we have to. Like I said, for inequalities, the letter has to go to the left side. Everything that doesn't have a letter, so this plus 12, let me move it over as a minus 12. Don't forget to switch your signs. So from positive to a negative or from negative to a positive. So there's my inequality sign. On the left side, I have 18 minus 2. So I'm going to call that 16n. On the right side, negative 36 and a negative 12. Same sign, you add and keep the sign. So negative 48. Let me divide by 16. Right, I'm dividing by a positive, so my sign does not change. Now on the right side, I see negative 48 divided by 16. I know negative divided by positive is negative. 48 divided by 16 is 3. If I ask you just to solve it, then you're going to type in n is less than negative 3, just the way we have it. Notice my n is lowercase, so don't do uppercase. If I just ask you to solve it, if I ask you to graph it, well, you have to solve it first and then graph. What I'm going to do, my negative 3, I'm going to do an open circle. Because of my inequality sign, it doesn't have the or equal to, so that's why it's an open circle. Look at the inequality. It looks like an arrow that goes to the left. So from my circle, I'm going to go to the left. Now let's take a look at number 62. Let me get rid of parentheses. So this negative 6, I'm going to multiply to the inside. So that gives me 35 minus 5b is less than or equal to negative 18b minus 30. If you can combine anything on the left, combine. If you can combine anything on the right, combine. You were not going to see much combining today, but tomorrow we will. And then I'm going to move letters to the left. So this negative 18b, let me move it here as a positive 18b. This positive 35, let me move it over as a negative 35. Letters to the left, and everything that doesn't have a letter to the right. Don't forget to switch the signs of those things that you move. All right, so my inequality sign is there. On the left side, I have a negative 5 plus 18. Signs are different, so I'm going to subtract, keep the sign of the large one. So it's going to give me positive 13b. On the right side, negative 30, negative 35, they're both the same sign, so I'm just going to add, keep the sign. So I have negative 65. To finish this, let me divide by 13. When I divide by a positive, nothing happens to the sign, my inequality sign. So in this case, just going to keep this. When I divide by a negative, so my number at the bottom of my fraction is a negative, do flip the sign. In this case, because I'm dividing by positive, don't flip. So b is less than or equal to negative divided by positive is negative. My answer is negative, but technically I divide by a positive. 65 divided by 13 is 5. So b is less than or equal to negative 5. If you have to type this, you're going to go b less than equal to negative 5. Now, if we have to graph it, I don't see a -5 here, but it's in between -4 and -6. So I'm gonna say my -5 is here. In this case, it's a closed circle because my inequality sign has the or equal to part. When you look at the inequality sign, it looks like an arrow that is going to the left. So I'm gonna go to the left. There you go.